Influence in this context is not about persuasion. It is about creating shared understanding and coordinated movement. How influence actually works in local government. Many leaders are taught that influence comes from strong logic, robust evidence, and well-constructed business cases. These matter. Councils are evidence-driven environments, and due process is essential. This has never been more important than in recent years, with so much more scrutiny being placed on councils. But in practice, logic alone rarely creates traction. From my experience, effective influence in local government rests on three interconnected levers: framing, timing, and coalition. Framing is about how the work is understood. Timing is about when influence is applied, and coalition is about who moves together. When any one of these levers is weak, traction becomes fragile. When all three are considered together, influence becomes more durable and less exhausting. So you can do some influence planning here, a bit of influence planning prompt. Before progressing a piece of work, ask, how is this currently being framed by others? Where are concerns likely to surface? Who needs to move together for this to work? Now, the reason that this helps is it encourages intentional influence rather than reactive persuasion. Framing, defining what the work is really about. Framing is not about explanation. It is about meaning. In councils, the same initiative can be framed simultaneously as service improvement, a financial constraint, a risk management exercise, a political sensitivity, and a community expectation. Each of these frames is legitimate, but if they are not surfaced and reconciled, people will act based on their own interpretation of what matters most. So something you can do here is a framing test. Ask three stakeholders to finish this sentence. This work matters because, and if the answers vary significantly, the framing is not aligned. This will help you because it's simple, fast, and very revealing. I often see leaders jump straight to detail without first clarifying the core problem. They explain what is being done, how it will be done, and when it will be delivered, but not why this particular approach matters. The most important question is often not what are we doing, but what problem are we trying to solve, and what trade-offs are we willing to accept? Effective framing names the real tension in the work. It acknowledges constraints. It reduces ambiguity. It allows people to align their effort rather than filling the gaps with their own assumptions. In a way, poor framing tends to create polite agreement and fragmented action. Timing. Influence as a sequence, not an event. Timing is one of the most underestimated aspects of influence in local government. Good ideas can often fail not because they are wrong, but because they are introduced at the wrong moment. Sometimes this is before the system is ready. Sometimes it is after informal positions have already hardened. Sometimes it is in forums that cannot make decisions. I'll never forget as a councillor having a great operator present a pretty significant project requiring significant investment. The idea, the thinking, the project were all very sound, but the timing, not so much. Their presentation followed a week of really tough financial decisions, tough calls being made on particular services, and we, the councillors, were all still a little raw from those discussions. So the whole thing got derailed. Whereas if the presentation had have been a month or so later, it would have progressed very differently. Timing matters. A quick tip here around a decision pathway map. So map this. Where does this decision get discussed informally? Where does it get shaped? Where does it get formally endorsed? Influence is most effective upstream of formal decision points. This will help you because it stops you as a leader relying solely on the formal forums and gets you to think about the informal forums.